Welcome to subdividing an edge and to sphere. So in this video we will be using the subdivision tool to add edge geometry, so adding some more vertices on an edge to take more control out of it, and then using to sphere to create a circular hole. So let's hop straight into Blender and carry these out. So here we are in Blender with our to soon be bowling ball. So first of all, a bowling ball is nice and smooth, so I'm going to find on our tools shelf here under the tools tab smooth shading, so we've got a nice smooth surface, and I'm going to hop over into edit mode. Now we've got a series of triangles we can work at here, and the subdivision that on the modifier that we chose has generated a few artifacts. If you look closely, there are a series of 6 triangles, so hexagons being created, but also occasionally there's a pentagon where they join up, and around that pentagon the geometry is just a bit distorted around there. So we're going to stay clear of the ones with 5 going around, and we're going to stick to the 6 ones. So we're going to find a space in the middle and we're going to create one of our holes. So here is absolutely fine, so I'll go to face select and click on these faces here. I'm just going to select a group of them. You could use a series of selection methods to do that. I'm just holding down Shift. And what we can do here is literally extrude in. So we'll see what that looks like if we do that. So we've got that there, that's being extruded in, that's great. Let's see what that looks like by hopping straight back over into edit mode. So it looks like there's a hole in the ball, which is great. So it looks quite a deep hole. I haven't gone through the other side, fortunately. No control over there. And it looks very rough. I mean, that looks absolutely horrible. It doesn't look like an appropriate size hole to begin with, and neither does it look the right shape. It's a hexagonal hole. So even though we've got smooth shading turned on, that's not hidden the fact that we've cut a hexagon into the surface of our model. So let's hop back on over into edit mode, and I'm going to undo that last step of geometry phase. So we need to have more of a step going in, and one of the easiest ways to do this is to first of all we're going to select an edge loop. So we want to select the edge loop that's going around our model here, the hexagon basically. And if we go to edge mode, hold down Alt and try and do that, it won't work. And the reason it won't do that is because there isn't an edge loop that's well defined there. It doesn't know which way to go. I mean, these are all triangles, so it doesn't know which way to go. Each time it doesn't know whether to go this way, this way, or any other way. In fact, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibilities in direction. So Blender just does not know which way to go. However, we can help it by simply selecting some triangles again and insetting. So I'm going to use the shortcut key I, and it doesn't have to be by much, it can just be by that. Now the moment we've done that, we've actually broken up and we've created a series of quads around the outside of our new hexagon. Now when we do that and we select an edge loop, when we hold down Alt and select that, we actually get the edge loop itself, which is brilliant. That's exactly what we wanted. Now the tool to sphere can be gotten at in 2 ways. You can hold down Shift, Alt and S, and we see in the lower left the command to sphere has appeared, and that is one of these proportional things. So it goes from 0 to 1, and as we can see that's going backwards and forwards, it's making absolutely no difference to our hexagon. And the reason for that is because there's only 6 edges, that is already spherized as much as it can. So we need to add more edges, even though the shape will be the same, but we need to add more edges so that it can spherize or make it circular in this case, since we're dealing with almost a 2D object. So I'm going to cancel that by hitting escape. The other way you can get to sphere is to hit the space bar, and oh, you can see that was my last search. So this is a very good lookup for commands if you can't find them. And we can see if I type in sphere, it gives us a couple of objects, choices there, and to sphere, and it also gives the shortcut keys Shift Alt and S. So brilliant. But we know that's not working at the moment, so we have to subdivide this edge. So we leave that selected, and we can do two options. We can either go to subdivide here on the tool shelf, or we can go to mesh, edges, subdivide, or you can get to another menu which is on the W key as well. And if we go W, and subdivide is right at the very top, very powerful. And take note of what else is on here. It's a specials menu. So we just want subdivide, and that's cut every one of these edges into 2, because we've subdivided by 1. It's cut everything into 2. If we subdivide by 2, it's cut everything into 3 and 4, etc. etc. So now we've got, I'm going to go for 3 and see what happens now. And we can go straight on and try and to sphere. So Shift, Alt and S. And as we move the mouse to the left and right, we can see at 0 it remains a hexagon in shape. But now as we approach 1, if you look in the lower left there, as it goes up towards 1, we get a lovely circle in our mesh. Brilliant, that's exactly what we want. So let's hop straight into face mode again and select these 6 slices of that pie and try pushing that into the model, and let's see what happens. Let's go into object mode to remove all that. So we're almost there, but it still looks horrible. It looks now like it's a circle cut, but we're seeing the extra geometry, the hexagonal geometry around it, or the series of triangles that make that up. So we need to do one more step to make that nice and neat. So if we hop back into edit mode and undo that step, we can do one final thing, and that is insetting this by a little bit before we then extrude inwards. Now once we've done that and we hop back over, we see that that nasty geometry surrounding the hole has gone. So by insetting, we have given it the opportunity to not look so horrible. Okay, I think it's challenge time. Okay, so I'd like you to create the next 2 circles we need. So if you have done, undo the extrude into the sphere. We're going to deal with that in a moment, so it's correct. Then we're going to create 2 more holes, and then using reference materials, just so you get the hole positions right, so use reference materials to guide their placement. Pause the video now and give that a go. Okay guys, welcome back. Let's hop over into Blender. Right, so we have our 1 hole here, and I'm simply going to go a bit further up, and I'm going to put 2 more holes. See, they have to converge relatively close to one another. So, just design decisions. So, I'm going to pop it in perspective mode, I think, so I can get an eye on the ball. Yeah, that's going to be about right there. So you can see the line coming up here. So no, it won't be there. Not at all. It's probably going to be there and there. Now that looks a bit too, that's far too close together. If you look at reference materials and pins, that just won't look right. So let's remove that and that one. Well, I'll keep that as a reference because I will need, that will be the lower triangle of the next set that I can possibly use. So that one there and that one there, and let's follow the line down. No, I've got that wrong. I'm blind as a bat when it comes to this, obviously. Zoom in a little further and see if we can actually get things lined up. So there will be a flat edge coming up here. So the next available one is that one there and this one here. Now you can see what I'm getting at there. I'm just trying to make sure that it's lined up appropriately. And actually that one looks a bit too far apart. So is there anything in the middle of this one here and that one there? Nope. So I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. Now, because I've selected them both at once, you can do this, by the way, so we can inset at the same time. Now, I cannot remember how far I inset before, so I'm just going to do it by eye. That looks about right. And now we need to select those two edge loops. Let's try and do everything in one fell swoop. So that one and that one, great. I'm now going to subdivide those. So we go to subdivide and we set them to 3, which is great. We can do that. Now, with them both selected, I'm not sure at this point if it's going to sphere correctly. No, it's not. You see there, it's doing something weird. So we are going to have to select these individually. So let's select this edge loop here and then go to sphere and whack that up to 1, so it's 100% spherized. And now just select this one and do the same, so Shift Alt S, or you can go spacebar to sphere, and there we go, we've got our next circle. And of course my instruction before was to undo your extrude here. So if you haven't done that, what can you do? In fact, what we will do in the next lecture is correct that, as if you had made this mistake. That's absolutely fine. And I shall see you very shortly.